promise I'm gonna get to the point, but people keep saying I look like Whoopi Goldberg. It's literally like the 5th comment I've seen on like all my socials about it. And I think it's the glasses. Is it the glasses? These are my other glasses. Does it still, is that what it still gives? We may never find out. As of lately, I have had a goal to hit 10 million streams on Spotify, and so far, so okay. I think we've been doing pretty good. I mean, there have been some mini goals in there, like hitting 500 subscribers on YouTube, which I've done. Hitting 1,000 subscribers on TikTok. Subscribers. Would I be followers? Followers on TikTok. And a bunch of other stuff. And I've done some lives and stuff like that. But I think it's something that I was thinking about recently is like that people are super afraid to start stuff. And I think you should start before you even know how to do it. Like with music, I knew how to play instruments, but I didn't know how to make music on a computer. And as you see now, I make music on a computer. It's actually probably what you're hearing in the background right now if editing Mac does her job. But we are trying to get to 10 million, and it's one of the things that I think about is like, if you don't start and you actually don't try, then you'll never know if you get there or not, right? So you have to start before you even know how to start. So some of your songs are gonna be bad. Some of your art's gonna be bad to you. You won't think that it's good. You won't think that it's what you wanted to make, but it'll happen. It'll happen. It just takes a little bit. So it's one of those things I've been thinking about is like, people are always so afraid to start. Oh my gosh, man. All this lint. It's my pup. Look, it's all going through the air. But people always are afraid to start. And one of the things that I find to make it easier to start, especially with goals like this, is to actually set one and then try and follow it. And that's what my book is for. So I have a book under me on my desk, and it has all of my ramblings, the ramblings of a mad person in there. But some of it is projects as well. And so, as you can tell, it's day 130, I believe, of the challenge of making a video every day. And I have like a planned out book in here that shows all the stuff I was thinking about. So I think that's day 47. We have day 52. And all these days are kind of just things that I had ideas for TikTok and everything. And I have a few ideas from my book that I shared with people to try. And that might be something that you take a look at. This is in my previous video. But I think it would be super fun to like do some of my ideas over again, like some of the ones I did at the start, because after like 4 months of consistently doing this, it's just better, like my editing and like other things and how I convey things. And so I think it would be useful to do that, but we'll test it out. Right now I'm kind of just rambling, but I have a lot of thoughts, and I think like one of my goals with this 10 million streams thing is to be more consistent with making social media stuff, like trying to use Snapchat. And I've been testing out Snapchat on the side and seeing if it's good for musicians, and seeing how it works. And I don't ever use Snapchat, so I'm kind of a boomer in that way, but I'm getting there. In the meanwhile, like getting through social media stuff and like checking out lives, like one of the hardest things, one of my biggest challenges right now with the 10 million streams is I wanted to do lives, but I also have a hard time knowing what to do on lives. And it feels like with like live streaming and everything else, there's some people on TikTok, because I do TikTok lives mainly, and it might have to change because of the whole TikTok ban thing, but we'll see. In the meanwhile, I'm not gonna let it bother me too much. But that's what I'm using right now. Maybe I'll try another platform, maybe YouTube, maybe somewhere else. But in the midst of going through TikTok Live, I noticed that there are a lot of people who just sit, and this is what they'll be like. And people will just be in there. They won't be talking. They may be looking at something. People will just be in there, like kind of interacting, talking with each other. They might have like 100, 200, 300 people in there. And all they're doing is like sitting and staring. And I'm like, look, get your bag. But also like, how? Because for musicians and everyone else, like I'll see musicians who are like actively making music on stream. They might have like 20 people on there, which is pretty good. But like, I'm like making music or planning YouTube videos and stuff. I'm like actively doing something. But I'm like, man, what can I do to improve? So one of the things I'm working on is finding the places where I need to improve while I go on this journey, and seeing which places are like do like pretty good so far. And I think the consistency has been good. The editing has been getting better, and there's a lot of places where I can of course get growth, but I think those two things have been good. And I think like the music and getting better with advertising and stuff, I've definitely had a lot of growth in that too. But I also feel like the things that are challenges for me is like knowing what social media to go with and knowing how to like structure my lives and maybe structure some of my content. So that's something that I'm working on right now. But it's been interesting. It's been cool. I've been kind of talking more towards the camera and doing a different kind of editing style. And if there's an editing style that you liked more in my previous videos, let me know. But I've been testing a lot of things out because you don't know until you start. And I don't know what direction or anything is going, especially with YouTube videos or like how I do marketing or how I use TikTok or whatever. But that's okay because you don't need to know exactly how it works. You just tweak as you go along. It doesn't have to be perfect off the rip. So it's the whole point of doing these videos in the first place, because I know my first ones weren't anywhere near what they are now, even in camera settings and understanding how to talk to the camera, especially as someone who is like really eye contact averse, and like basically I'm looking at myself in the camera, and that's weird for me because it's hard for me to stick my eyes on one spot, but I'm learning how to do that too. So getting some growth and starting when you don't even know how to. I would have spent years just watching people make YouTube videos instead of actually making them, and thinking that my space isn't perfect, my things aren't right, oh, my fridge is in the back, like all this stuff. But in reality, it's okay. It's okay. Just make them and post them, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But you did what you wanted to do, and you're doing it for the right reason. So until then, I'll see you tomorrow.